dining room and the fireplace round which my family were now assembled, I paused. And then, as I often do in the course of an evening, went to the front door, opened it, and stepped outside.
This is intended to be of interest, I take it.
Why, yes, of course.
Then why announce it as if it were the fat spot crisis?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Let us see this entrance hall. Let us see this house. Let us smell and taste this happy festive meal.
But that's impossible.
No, sir. Draw on your emotions and on our imaginations.
Forgive me, I am not an actor.
No. Again? Try it again.
It was 9:30 on Christmas Eve.
No, not to meet again.
It was 9:30 on Christmas Eve. As I crossed the long entrance hall of my house on my way to the dining room, where we had just enjoyed the first of the happy festive meal.
You will excuse me. I know what you read here holds particular significance for you that is likely to cause you some distress. But I must implore you, sir, have sympathy for your audience.
Sir?
Well, just now, we are alone here in this theatre. These rows of empty seats are likely to protest as you hum and mumble through your lines. But believe me, sir, speak them thus before an audience. You'll see them one by one expire with boredom.
It was 9:30 on Christmas Eve as I crossed the long entrance hall of my house.
Long entrance hall?
That's right.
Why long?
Because it is.
Have sympathy for your audience. Are they interested in its length?
I apologize, I'm afraid I wasted your time.
Well, stay where you are.
Perhaps this was a foolish adventure I never should have come.
But you did, however, and you have paid me for the day. I have no intention of not giving you full payment.
Please,
So time to leave, and I shall force you to recite the sonnets in their time. No, we'll make another of you yet.
I have no desire to be an earthing. All I wish, implore, is that this tale of mine be told. Be told and laid to rest God willing, so I may sleep without nightmare.
Which is why you came to me.
Yes,
As one practiced in these things.
yes.
As one who will impart unto you the rudiments of things. Who will offer you advice as to expression and delivery. And above all, instill in you the confidence to stand up and make a go of it.
Confidence.
Yes, confidence. Now then, 9:30, Christmas Eve. Excitement, anticipation, crisp air, crackling fires, children asleep with stocking by their heads, a happy family, content, delighted, and above all, at peace.
It was 9:30 on Christmas Eve. As I crossed the long,
Oh dear God.
the entrance hall of my house on my way from, it was 9:30 on Christmas Eve. It was 9:30 on Christmas Eve.
What time was it?
9:30.
Not on Christmas Eve, honey. That's good Lord.
Very sorry, this is clearly not a success.
You see? It doesn't come in 5 minutes. You think to stand up, recite your tale, and have your audience hang upon your very word. As if that's all it takes. If that was the case, why'd you come to me for help? So it's a yes, wonderful, without flaw. Believe me, sir, performance is an art acquired through tears and time. And I appreciated it every time I offered advice. You would take up your manuscript and make to stalk out of the theater.
Advice?
Yes, advice.
Sounds more like approval.
I promise you, as the day goes on, it's likely to sound more so.
May I just say that it is not that performance I wish to give. No, I think there is a misunderstanding in that respect. I wish to speak it. No more. For my family only, for those who need to know. I am not a performer. I have no pretension to be, nor inclination. Those terrible things that happened to me, they must. I have to let them be told for my health and reason.
Say it out to perform.
Oh, surely.
In your hand is a manuscript which, honest, and it will take about, 5 hours to read. If you, an acknowledged non-performer, should stand in front of an audience, however fed, and drone at them for longer than it takes to play King Lear, you'll be unsurprised by the end of it being the fastest thing around your throat.
I am.
At least.
Good heavens, I had no idea. Find out. I cannot possibly. It must be told. I cannot carry the burden any longer. It must be told.
It was 9:30 on Christmas Eve. As I opened my front door, I smelled at once with a lightening heart that there had been a change in the weather. The dampness and fog had stolen away like thieves into the night. The sky was pricked over with stars, the full moon a halo of frost. Upstairs, 3 children slept with stockings tied to their bedposts. There was something in the air that night. That my peace of mind was about to be disturbed and memories awakened that I had thought forever that I naturally had no idea. That I should ever again renew my acquaintance with mortal dread and terror of spirit would have seemed at that moment impossible. I took a last look at the frosty darkness, sighed contentedly, and went back into the happy company of my family. At the far end of the room stood the tree, candlelit and bedecked. Beneath it were the presents. I became aware that I had interrupted the others in a lively conversation. We are telling ghost stories, just the thing for Christmas Eve. So they were, vying with each other to tell the hardest, most spine-chilling tale. They told of dripping stone walls and uninhabited castles, of ivy-clad monstrous ruins by moonlight, of locked inner rooms and secret dungeons, dank charnel houses and overgrown graveyards, of howlings and shriekings, groanings and scuttlings. This was a sport, a high-spirited game amongst young people. There was nothing to torment or trouble me, nothing of which I could possibly disapprove. I did not want to seem a killjoy, so I turned my head so that it could not see my discomfiture. And now it's your turn. Oh no, nothing for me, I beg you. Oh, come now, everyone knows at least one ghost story. Surely you know one. Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have no story to tell. And I went quickly from the room and out of the house. I walked in a frenzy of agitation, my heart pounding, my breathing short. I had always known in my heart that the experience would never leave me, that it was woven into my very fibers. Yes, I had a story, a true story, a story of haunting and evil, fear and confusion, horror and tragedy. But it was not a story to be told around the fireside on Christmas Eve. And then I thought you might decide to peace some hands. Some say that aim against that season.
Oh, yes, of course. You did it for the purpose of the reading. You can't be.
Quite so. And you, for the purpose of the performance, you draw on your remembrance to be the people that you met, those who played their parts in your story.
Sir, I am not a performer.
Sir, I know.
And this must not be entertainment. Those most powerful events will not be treated as amusement or diversion. I insist, sir.
And I insist that you consider your audience. However horrible, if it tales to be told, it must be offered in a form that's remotely palatable. You have come to me for advice and assistance. You must trust me. Now, from here, if you please, and let us show that we mean business. So your cue is fear and confusion, horror and tragedy, was not a tale to be told by the fireside at Christmas Eve.
Some say that ever against that season comes, when our Saviour's birth is celebrated. This bird of dawning singeth all night long, and then they say no spirit there stir abroad. The nights are wholesome. Then no planet strike, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is that time.
Those lines came into my head as if from heaven, and a great peace came upon me. I recall the way to banish an old ghost that continues its hauntings is to exorcise it. Well then, mine shall be exorcised. I shall tell my tale. I will write my own ghost story that they might know and that I might be forever purged of it, relived through the telling. The first part of the writing I have done. Now comes the telling. I pray for God's protection on us all. Good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you slept well.
Thank you, yes.
No nightmares.
Not too bad.
Ah, so we're not cleared yet.
Fear I never will be.
We'll have you play fools around again, you mark my words. Did you study as that?
Well, as best I can. You must forgive me. This is not my forte.
We'll make an earning of you yet.
I have no wish to be an early.
No, but for the sake of our audience, let us at least try.
This audience you speak of, it's just to be my family and friends. You don't intend to make a public spectacle.
Oh, good heavens, no. Your family, your friends, perhaps the old theatre manager, but now, see, London. The interior of the offices is listed as Bentley, Hague, Sweetman, and Berkeley. And I have a little surprise for you.
What's that?
Thank you, Mr. Bunce.
Recorded sound!
Precisely, a remarkable invention, is it not?
Extraordinary, to the life I can swear I was in a London street attempting to negotiate a thundering traffic.
And so, Mr. Gibbs will our audience. No need to speak of cars, trams, and horses, smoking brine. No need, in fact, for words. Just let the recorded sound be heard, and they are there, transported.
But the scene is to be in an office, is it not? Why do you have London's traffic flow into an office?
Why, indeed, Mr. Bunce?
Remarkable!
The miracle of science, the hands of Bunce. These are particularly good at this sort of thing. And now to work. I am you, you are your clerk. I enter briskly, you are already at work.
You must forgive me now, this is not my...
Your forte, quite, and it won't become so unless we attend it. Now, from here, just like we went through it all last night, I then. It's a foul day, Tom. A foul day, Tomes.
Yes, Mr. Gibbs.
November, the dreariest month of the year, lowering to the spirits.
Yes, Mr. Gibbs. It's fog, no real.
The thickest of London pea soups, a yellow fog, a thick, evil-smelling fog that choked and blinded, smeared and stained. I busied myself with some dull details of conveyancing of property leases, forgetful for the moment that pressing against the window of the third beast at my back.
Mr. Bentley wishes to see you, sir.
Straight away.
Straight away, sir, if you would.
That sniff incidentally occurred every 20 seconds, for which reason Tomes was, in general, confined to a cubbyhole in the outer lobby.
What now?
Now you become Bentley.
Now, do I do all right? I mean, with a pass.
Excellent, we'll make an Irving of you yet.
Will you be quiet about Irving?
Apologies, carry on.
Sit you down, Arthur. Sit you down. I don't think I ever told you about the extraordinary Mrs. Drabner. Mrs. Drabner? Mrs. Alice Drabner, Vilmar's house. Dead, don't you?
Ah.
Yes. I inherited Mrs. Drabner from my father. Oh, the family has had their business with this fellow for...
Oh, yes.
Yes. No good age, too. 87.
Oh, and that's the will you have there, I think.
Mrs. Drabner was, as they say, a woman. Have you ever heard of the 9 Lives Causeway?
No, never.
Not ever about Vilmar's house in
No, sir.
Not as well as ever visited that county at all.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Living there, anyone might come around.
I've only a hazy idea of where it is.
Then, my boy, go home, pack your bags, and take the afternoon train to King's Cross. changing at Crewe, and again at Homerby. From Homerby, you take the branch line to the little market town of Crippen Gifford. And after that, it's a wait for the tide.
The tide?
Oh, you can only cross the causeway at low tide. But that takes you on to Eel Marsh and the house.
And Mrs. Travers?
When the tide comes in, you're cut off till the snow again. Yes, remarkable, remarkable place. Yes, since I've been there, of course. My father took me. I didn't greatly care for Elizabeth.
Was she a widow?
Oh, since quite early on, and married.
Any children?
Children, according to everything we've been told about Mrs. Drablow, no, there were no children.
Did she have a great deal of money or land?
Well, she owned her house, of course, and a few properties in Crippen Gifford, shops and tenants, that sort of thing. And there's a poor sort of farm half on the water, and the usual small trusts and investments.
Well, then it all sounds pretty straightforward.
Well, it does it not?
May I ask why to go there?
Not to represent this firm at our client's funeral.
Ah, yes, of course. I'd be glad to go to Mrs. Travers' funeral, naturally.
There's a bit more to it than that.
The will.
Now that you have the details to read on your journey. But principally, you ought to go through Mrs. Drablow's documents, her private papers, whatever they may be, wherever they may be, and to bring them here, to this office.
I see.
Mrs. Drablow was somewhat disorganized, shall I say. May take you a walk.
A day or two.
No, at least a day or two, Arthur.
Will there be somebody there to help me?
Not many reasons. There's an open man living in the hall. They'll be in touch with you.
Surely she had friends, even neighbors.
Eel Marsh House. It's far away from any neighbor.
And I suppose she never made friends being alone.
Come on, look on the bright side, huh? Think the whole thing is a joke. At least it'll take you out of all this for a day or two. Yes, you'll reach Crippen Gifford by this evening, and there's a small hotel you can offer for the night. The funeral, tomorrow morning, at 11.
I had to inform my landlady that I'd be away a couple of nights and scribble a note to my fiancée Stella, to whom I hope to be married the following year. After that, I was to take the remote train to a remote corner of England, of which after a few moments ago I never even heard.
Drablow paid the sack.
Ah, thank you. I must say, Thomas, for all it is a strange part of the world I'm going to, that I'd be glad to be rid of this appalling fog and unhappy atmosphere. And you're still unsure whether or not to go through with this?
Oh, certainly.
Even after performing as well as we've just done?
There are so many things we cannot represent. How do we represent the dog, the causeway, the sea? How the pony trap?
With imagination, Mr. Kipps, ours and our audiences.
I would be obliged if you would inform me how imagination will create a pony trap upon this day.
Here, trap. Here, home. Now, what could be clearer?
Doesn't instantly say trap to me.
But you like it, don't you? And with the whip in your hand and the recorded sound of the pony's hooves, trust me, nothing can save it.
Except the pony and trap.
Let us not be finicky, Mr. Kipps.
Oh, the recorded sound is splendid. It was a great surprise to me.
Yes, and there shall be much more surprises. Tomorrow night, we are on the train. And now, to work. You will study these. As you see, I've divided up the lines again, and I've cut much of the descriptive passage. Recorded sound, Mr. Kipps, recorded sound.
Nothing could please him more than the sight of this great tower of the railway station, glowing like the interior of a blacksmith's forge. The other windows are completely dark, and when the carriage winds down, all the rooms are closed in some lamplit study. At Crewe, he changes with ease and continues on his way, noting that the track begins to veer towards the east as well as heading north. It is when he comes to change again onto the branch line at the small station of Homerby that he begins to be less comfortable, for here the air has grown a great deal colder and blowing in gusts with an unpleasant rain upon its breath. And the train in which he used to travel the last hour of his journey is ancient and comfortless.
night. I seem to exchange one kind of poor weather for another. I left London in the grip of an appalling fog, and I fear it's covered up with snow.
It's not snow. Let the wind blow itself out, take the rain off with it by morning.
I'm very glad to hear it.
But if you think you've escaped the fogs by coming up here, you're mistaken. We get bad friends this part of the world.
Friends?
Aye, friends. Sea friends. Sea mists. They roll up in a minute from the sea, cross the land, cross the marshes. 1 minute it's clear as of June day, and the next, devil. But if you stay in Britain, you won't see the worst of it.
When I stay there tonight, with gifted arms, I expect to see something in the marshes later.
Traveller. This is Traveller.
Hi.
You don't tell me you're a relative.
I'm her solicitor.
Ah. Bound for the funeral.
I am.
Be about the only one that is.
I think she was something of a recluse. While it is sometimes way with old ladies, they grow inwards, very eccentric. I suppose it comes from living alone.
I dare say that it does. Just,
Kids, Arthur kids.
some daily. And when you live alone in such a place as that, it becomes a great deal easier.
Come, you're not going to start telling me strange tales from lonely houses.
No.